Good morning, children. Let us discuss about the history lesson 4, tribal and also the DIKUS, tribal groups and DIKUS. In previous class, we have learned about the Birsa. All tribal people, they are feeling Birsa is their god, and he came to be saved from the problems or from the troubles also. So today let us discuss about the how did tribal groups live. So in by the 19th century, tribal people in different parts of India were involved in a variety of activities. By the 19th century, how they lived before the 19th century and what are the activities of the tribal groups, let us say, before the independence or before the arrival of the Britishers. After the arrival of the Britishers, what are the problems were faced by the tribal groups? So, some were Jum cultivators. Some of the tribal people, they are the Jim cultivators. What do you mean by the Jim cultivators? And also that Jim cultivation or shifting cultivation also we can learn it. Some of them practiced Jim cultivation, that is shifting cultivation. We can say Jim or shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation means here we can see uh, the tribal groups, they live in forest area. After living in the forest area, some of the forest area they are going to be clear it, and after the clearing land they burnt the leaves and they grow the crops. They just digging the land and sowing the seed and they grow the crops. We can call Jim cultivation or shifting cultivation also. This was done on small patches of land, mostly in forest. They practice shifting cultivation, they practice mostly in the forest areas. So the cultivators cut the tree tops to allow sunlight to reach the ground and burnt the vegetation on the land to clear it for cultivation. They spread as the ash from the firing, which contained potash to fertilize the soil. That ash, whatever they are burning, that ash, it will be giving fertilizer to the soil. They used the axe to cut trees, the hoe to scratch the soil in order to prepare it for cultivation also. In Jim cultivation, they cut the trees and also they dig the land and just they are going to cultivate it. And to prepare it for cultivation, and also that they broadcast the seeds, that is scattered the seeds on the field instead of plowing the land and sowing the seeds. So now present cultivation, what we are saying, they dig the land and they sow the seeds. But here what they are going to do, they scattered just with the hand, they just scattered the seeds. And also that once the crop was ready and harvested, they moved to another field. A field that had been cultivated once was left fallow for several years also. So after cultivating the land, later just they leave that place and they will go to the another place also. Shifting cultivators were found in the hilly and forest tracts on northeast and central India also. The lives of these tribal people depended on free movement within forest and on being able to use the land and forest for growing their crops. That is why the only way they could practice the shifting cultivation. Some of the groups, some here we can say some of the tribal groups, they live in forest area, just they practice the shifting cultivation also. Next, one more group, they were the some were hunters and gatherers. Hunters and gatherers. Gatherers means some of the tribal groups, they hunt the animals and also that they gather the food also. In many regions, tribal groups lived by hunting animals and gathering forest products. So the tribal groups just they kill the animals, and from the forest whatever materials are available, just they collect and they eat it. They saw forest as essential for survival. The Kones were such as community living in forest of Warissa. The Kones, it is the name of the tribe